So I'm just going to ask you, of course, some questions about you, your business, and everything like that. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this, so
yeah,
I'm ready.
absolutely. Yeah.
So of course, the first question is always, how did you get started in the pressure washing business?
So in 2016, I was in a pool in Cancun with one of my friends who, of all places, lives in Houston. And I met him at the same pool in 2012. I didn't live in Houston. I was stationed in Virginia at the time in the Navy. And he said, hey, I started pressure washing. And I said, I'd known him for 4 years at this point. I said, why are you doing that? You're an engineer at an oil plant. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's really a side gig, and I have like a shopping addiction, and I want to, I wanted to like not feel guilty about my shopping addiction because I have kids. I'm like, okay, you're being a good, responsible parent.
Gotcha.
And so the next year he was like, I'm loving it. I've upgraded all my equipment. Mm-hmm. And, he told me I made $40,000 doing it 1 day a week in a year. And I only did it 9 months out of the year. And I was like, oh, wow. And so that like got the seed planted in my head. And as I got closer to retirement, I was like, what do I want to do when I retire? Because I'd already made the decision that I needed a break from government service. Like I didn't want to go into even the private sector or as like, a civilian government worker. Like I just wanted to do a different direction. And in 2018, I said to Aaron, I think this is what I want to do. I'm going to dig into it. He's like, oh, that sounds cool. And so I had a conversation with that guy, and we're really good friends at this point. He's like, here, just look at my books and look at everything. This is what I use. This is what I do. And he sent me to this website, and he said, this is how I learned everything. And I said, okay. It was a forum. Took it from there. Probably took it to an extreme level, which is how the book came about that I wrote, Pressure Washing 101 Guide, How to Start Your Business. And that's really just a framework for somebody that's like, I want to do this, but they've never been a business owner. And it's just a common sense approach of like, how to start your business, get an LLC, get insurance, do the right thing, those steps. But that really all started from that conversation in the pool. My friend still watches part-time. He thinks it's hilarious that we're so big. He loves it. He's like, it's just, he's like, it's mind-blowing that I literally gave you a website and you just took off at a dead run.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
Though. That's good. But I can understand like you kind of like, everyone wants to start their own, but they don't know how. And definitely kind of laying it out for everyone is good, especially because it's like you're just passing on, the good.
And that was just my notes. There wasn't I didn't write a book to write a book. And if you look at my book, it looks like least like a book you've ever seen, but because it's just my notes that guys were asking for over and over, I gave it away for 7 months for free.
Okay.
As a Google Live document. And then I finally published it because it was just becoming like its own animal. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let me just publish this. So.
Okay. So next is, tell me how you grew into the business owner you are today. So how do you think you did that? You were able to do that?
Hard work, luck, surrounding yourself with good, smart people, a good team, good feedback. Really, for me personally, like this was my chance finally as an adult, because I joined the Navy at 20 and I retired at 40, to really push myself, because the Navy will let you excel, but there's limits to that. You'll hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do and only so much you can overachieve, which is fine. I mean, it's a structure. I really love the Navy, but now the only limits I have are what I set on myself. And so it was, how hard could I push? Like how much could I achieve? And it wasn't like we just said, let's go as hard as we can. We had goals, and we learned that by like being efficient, focused, having a plan, we were just crushing our goals much faster than we thought. Like our plan wasn't to have a second rig until next year. So I would say that it's really like every day I'm learning, like if you're not a better business owner today than you were yesterday,
what are you doing?
You didn't really learn anything.
Yeah.
And it can be little stuff, it can be big stuff. I do a lot of these interviews and I get a ton out of them. I probably get more out of the interviews than the people watching. Because personally, I learn something every day. I do an interview, whether it's, man, this person is really, really good on camera. Like they're just charismatic and they really bring a lot of energy to it. And like, when I watch every day, sometimes I come home and I'm tired and that shows on the camera. People are like, you need to have a whiskey. And I'm like,
no.
I watched all day. I'm giving it all I got. But yeah, I think that just learning and being open to like discussion, even on the internet, when people point out things or educate me or ask me questions I don't know, that pushes me to go learn it. So that is, all of those things help, and especially like if you have a team, like listening to my team when they give me feedback of like, hey, you know, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do that, or I've noticed you do this, and you know, maybe you shouldn't do that. And like, instead of like that like knee jerk, like I'm the owner, I don't have that, because I understood after 20 years leading sailors that feedback is critical. So that habit, when the team tells me things, I want them to feel like they can tell me stuff, because it can make me a better business person, regardless of who it comes from, or the newest employee or the co-owner. Like, input is a perspective that you don't have. And if you have a good team with smart people with their head on their shoulders, that perspective is crucial.
Yeah, and then it helps with internal growth. Because you don't want to have like a corporate business and then all your employees don't like you, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of like,
or there's no buy-in because they don't, nothing they say matters.
Yeah. You just don't have that gumption. Okay, cool. Are there any challenges you can say that you faced in the long run?
I think when everybody's starting out, you know, a lot of people look at us because we had the truck and it looked, you know, unbelievable, and they said our budget was crazy deep, but we didn't start off with a big marketing budget. We started off slow, and the truck just marketed itself, so that helped. But like, a lot of people start out with a trailer, and if you're starting out in the back of your car, you know, you don't have all that signage. Like on the sign you guys put on our trailer, fabulous, that you made for us, really big, probably the best signage we have. I mean, the truck is its own standalone, it looks great, but so building your brand was tough at the beginning, and I always encourage guys, like, don't be too proud or scared to do a little free work or discounted work where you guarantee yourself a review.
Yeah.
Because once you build a brand, like you're a consumer, I'm a consumer. When you go look at a company, if I Googled, you know, Koi Chiropractic and he had no reviews, I'm probably gonna let that dude crack my neck. Like, but if he's got like 25 5-star reviews, I'm like, he's legit. Because we all know leaving a review is a pain. We don't really like to do it. Only certain people will do it. You're busy, and doing things like that is hard. So when you get your customers to really appreciate you enough to leave those reviews, it matters. So we didn't start advertising, paid advertising, until we had 25 reviews. So then it created synergy, and we weren't throwing money at the wall that didn't stick. And I see a lot of that. Guys are like, I'm running ads and I'm not getting anything. I'm like, well, where's your Google My Business page?
Yeah.
You know, where's your Facebook ads? You know, like, how many Google reviews do you have? You know, those things. And like, my market's really competitive for Google ads. We don't run them. We're only paid Facebook advertising.
Okay.
And then, you know, Instagram and Twitter, but like, those are free and the ads go to both. So really, it was just like the balance of like how to get work. We door knocked, but like when we were working, people would hire us. Like today, the neighbor was asking this morning, and and I just gave out a card here immediately. The guy was like, "Oh, can you get pine needles off my roof?" I'm like, "I can solve that problem." And that's what you want to convey to customers, is that you're there to help. And then, my personal opinion is that when I am educating my customer on how I can protect their property and make it better and cleaner safely, education is the key to selling your business, because I'm not salesy. I'm just telling you how I'm going to do it. And you take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Like, no one likes hard push sales.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, nobody does.
It's just, you're just not about it. You're like, I need to make a decision, get off my back.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, you got to communicate what you do, and this is a little bit of a niche market. It's known, but it's not known. A lot of people call me and think I'm gonna put pressure on their home. I'm not gonna do that. So I educate them.
Gotcha.
But
okay. I know you were going over a little bit of like the marketing tips, or the door knocking, and the word of mouth. What other tips can you say helped you market your business besides just those things? Trial
and error. Like, when I started Facebook paid ads, I used boosted posts, I used targeted posts, and I was getting no return. Well, I had a friend that said, hey, you should use, you know, a larger budget to pay to play. So I spent $150 on a targeted post. I got 0 interaction.
Okay.
So that was metric data. I didn't get upset about it. I just said, okay, this is not working. Facebook had this thing called automated ads. I'm gonna try this. And I said, oh, I can set my budget. I tried $1 a day. The very first time ever, I got interaction. But the benefit of the automated ads is it's smart, it learns, it will suggest that you change photos as you post more photos. So if there's a photo that's performing really well and their algorithm thinks it'll do better on your ad, they'll recommend you take it from your Facebook page and add it. And that's key too. for your free advertising at the beginning, this is the most important thing I think you can do. I posted 2 photos a day to Instagram, and from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook, and those same 2 photos a day to Google My Business. So historically, once I got cranked up, I am at like, I just looked it up last night, 592% more views on my photos than another company.
Okay.
And at the life for in the like I think it's the last quarter, maybe the total, but the average company in pressure washing has 26 Google My Business photos. I have 312.
I see. Okay.
So that's free. That's free 99. Like it doesn't cost you anything but time and effort building the habit. So that's why I tell people, go out and do free work, clean that driveway and get like 10 photos of the driveway.
Yeah.
Different angles. And you can post that photo once in the morning and once in the evening with different angles so it's not the same photo. Mm-hmm. Or like maybe there's a really dirty spot. Like you gotta be a little bit of a photographer as a business owner in this. You gotta be able to take photos. You gotta be an accountant. You gotta understand how to run your business. And that's where a CRM, a customer resource management software, is crucial, I think, because once you do scale, it can't be like a notepad. You won't keep up. So having that ability in the app, I can send estimates to people. I can send invoices. I can take payments online. It's all very streamlined. It's very easy, and it makes you look professional when you're dealing with the customer.
Yeah, and then everything kind of falls into place. And like you said, the people are out there. You just got to kind of find them.
And
you
then
got to make sure
educate them on what you can provide, why you have a value that they should spend their money.
Yeah.
Because our services are not cheap. You know, like we are, you know, trying to meet our metric, and our goal is to run the company at a minimum of $200 an hour. $200 an hour is a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a $200 job, you need to be in and out. But what people don't realize is like eventually your drive time comes into it too. So if I'm driving across Houston and it's a $600 job and it's an hour drive, I really need to do that job in an hour. Not gonna do a $600 job in an hour, so you're eating into it.
Yeah.
So that needs to like play into your metrics. So it's all math, and like I think as you get better at running your business, you'll get better at like pricing your services to meet your growth needs.
Yeah, because I can see that, because you don't want to either overwork or underwork, and you don't want to make sure that you're actually getting the right amount of work out of it, everything like that. So I could definitely see that. And then you also want the customer to know, like, look, we got you too. So so it's quality work too.
We're not rushing.
So, yeah.
We're doing it efficiently.
Yeah, efficiently. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. So I know you said that your book is more of like your notes, but what made you pass it along? Like, what made you kind of turn it into a book or a
So
notebook?
somebody asked me for help on the forum. They said, I've watched you post. You're really organized. I know you've got notes. Can you share them with me? And I was like, how do I do this? So I went and looked up how to publish a live document. And he was like, this is great. And then like a week later, he's like, can I share this with my buddy who's learning? I was like, sure. And then that turned into, it started getting posted on Facebook. And then it just took off. And I was watching the hit count on my website where it was linked to just go through the roof. And I let it go for 6 months, and guys were starting to message me, offer me money. And then I was like, okay, it's becoming so overwhelming with guys trying to pay me, and I didn't want money. Then I'm like, let me just publish it on Amazon. I published the ebook, and it was immediately, I want the paperback. So I went right back to the guy that formatted it for me, and I had them format it for a paperback, and then I published it on Amazon. It was really easy as far as all that goes. I just went to Fiverr and got somebody that can Kindle formatting.
Yeah.
And they did the paperback, and then, I wanted to price the book lower, but Amazon was like, here's our minimum, good luck. So I had to meet the minimum. So it was $9.99 for the Kindle ebook, which I'm like, I buy books all the time for $4.99, but I'm not big enough. So they were like, this is the minimum. And then the full color book, like, it's a $19.99 book, but I only make $4 on the book.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I was trying to get away for free, but I'm like, okay. And there's guys out there that are going to do it better than I did, but that's what you want. You need somebody that is going to look at something somebody else did and build on it, make it better.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, and then I'll buy that book.
Yeah, because I think something that we all kind of think about and don't think about is everybody's doing something similar to what we're doing. But that doesn't mean that we should, be upset. We should help them. Like, we're all in the same boat.
This industry is my peers.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's okay because there's guys that innovate. And that's why when someone brings a new product to the table and it's awesome, I'm curious about it. I'm a curious person. That's why we have different systems on our trailers. We have 2 Hondas on the truck. and an air compressor roof system, and then on the trailer we have a gas-powered, soft wash system, and then a budget build because I was curious. We wanted to change it up, and the more I learn about different things, I can see what's efficient. So that efficiency lets me streamline the company. And like for me, I love having a Honda GX690 with an 8 gallon a minute. I love it. It's powerful. It do anything I want it to do. But like for residential, I'm really impressed with this, budget build sweet spot. It's 2 for 1. I can build 2 of those for the price of one of the Hondas. That's efficient.
Yeah.
It really does what I need it to do. So, and that's what you're looking for is like, what's the efficient sweet spot in your company model? And everybody's is different. So I think that like for me, I'm just sharing the results of my curiosity with the industry. And then specifically guys reach out to me for help and I help them with what I can. But like some guy just posted on my timeline today that I inspired him to bid on a 97 building apartment complex. I'm like, I've never even watched an apartment complex. I don't know how, like good for you.
Right, like tell me how.
But he was
works.
like, you inspired me to take this shot. And I'm like, good. And I believe that like everybody should take a shot but you got to go into it understanding your equipment and what you can achieve. So like don't put your business in dire straits because you overbid or you underbid a big job and then you're not hitting your metrics and you're there working for 3 weeks for $100 a day. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to understand your own capabilities. But I always think that everybody should educate themselves enough as a business owner. They're extremely confident in what they're going to tell the homeowner because you don't want to overpromise, underdeliver. You want to underpromise and overdeliver.
Yeah.
Like all day long. And like that's not just in my industry. Like you guys, when we were making these signs and they were kind of a custom design of size, there was a misunderstanding between what we wanted and you guys were just instantaneously like, oh, we misunderstood on our end. We're gonna make it right. Like I didn't even have to ask. It was just like, we misunderstood what you wanted and we're gonna fix it because we get it, what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that right there is the definition of you under-promised and you over-delivered. Because you promised to do something and you gave me signs, but they weren't exactly what I wanted. But when I said, hey, this isn't what I'm looking for, there was no friction, there was no difficulty. Your company was like, we misunderstood and we're gonna stand behind our product and you're now over-delivering.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at a definition of under-promise and over-delivering is, it's not necessarily correcting a mistake. It's like, I just clean this little thing extra for you. Like, yeah, we can waive the cost of this or whatever, we can help you. Like, those are the little things that I tell guys in the industry, like, if the trash can's filthy, spray it off. Whatever. Like, it's anything, little stepstones are dirty, wash them off. Like, it's easy to over-deliver.
Yeah,
It
and
doesn't
then people
take-
are going to remember that too.
Right.
So, and then like I know a lot of times in the Facebook groups, it's always word of mouth is the best, or like you said, reviews. So it's kind of like if you do overdo it, and it's kind of like you went that one step ahead, they're going to remember that, and that's what's going to get those reviews and those
Differentiate
word of mouth.
yourself from your
Yeah.
competition. And
Definitely.
people say competition, I say peers, but your customer views it as I'm looking for competing price. So you can use whatever term you want, but I don't have competition. I help local guys. I help guys with pricing. I train local guys. I've trained guys from Dallas, from San Antonio, from Austin. More local guys than far away because it's easier for them to drive over, but it's just like, I don't care if you set up in Kingwood. I know guys that wash here and we work together. We're friendly. They've helped me out. I've helped them out. Like it's a
community.
It's better when it's a community and you treat each other and you have each other's back because everybody's trying to make it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be cutthroat. Cutthroat drives prices down and makes it hard for everyone.
It does.
And you need to respect that company has value. I have value. He has value. We all have value.
Yeah.
And I'll tell customers when they're like, oh, that's a little high. I'm like, well, I can recommend you some people, but I don't think they're going to be able to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to refer you. And maybe they come in $50 lower and they get that job. But then I recommended them somebody that I would trust on my property. And that's why I only recommend guys that I've worked with or that I've seen their work up close and personal because my name is associated with that recommendation.
Yeah.
So that's how I approach it.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. And another question. It's kind of like the last few. What do you see yourself in like 5 years? Of course, that's always the question.
This will make people mad, but not in pressure washing.
Okay, where do you think you're gonna go?
So our company started with a 10-year plan, and the plan stays pressure washing, but me personally, there's other directions that I will be in if we stay to plan and plans change. And I do really love this industry. Like I really do. Like the people in it. Not just the customers, which I love, but like I love interacting with the guys in the industry. But really, like we formed our company with the basis of doing other ventures. And just the way our structure is internally, I will always be the icebreaker, the person leading the way. So whatever venture we do, like I'll be front and center on it. So that would be why I would be focusing not on the industry so much. But again, you know, you got to do what you love, and like I love this. So unless things change, the plan is that I will be doing another venture. I'm currently involved in this company and 2 others that I'm a managing partner or owner in. So it's busy. But and I've voiced that very honestly, and guys are just hard no, you can't leave the industry. I'm like, well, I don't think you ever leave. So that plan was made before I'd done any of this. And we'll see. And that's just what you can do with your internal leadership. Like, can you shift somebody else to the CEO role? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
There's always people that can fill that role. And that's the difference between working in your business and running your business. You know, that's why I talk about books in my book, like turning the flywheel and things like that. But, you know, whatever I do in 5 years, the end goal will be that I want us to continue to help people. And that's why we started the company.
Yeah.
None of us need to work, but we wanted to do something together. And then we all realized that the Simon Sinek's book, Why, is great. You got to have your why. Our why is we want to help people. We want to help our customers. We want to help our employees. We pay them salary starting. Rain, shine, doesn't matter. They get 2 weeks paid vacation. They get a week of sick leave. And we wanted them to have their starting salary where they were no longer in survival mode.
Yeah.
Because when you're out of survival mode, you can use your brain. And when you use your brain, then we can see what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And so many people are stuck in survival mode. You know, cars are expensive. Cost of living is, you know, is a lot. And, you know, pay will let you survive, but not thrive.
Yeah.
So when I pay people enough that they can actually take a vacation and not be like, I'm not eating because I'm taking a vacation, or, you know, it's not only tax return season taking a vacation, then I feel like you've started down the path of letting them have some like freedom. And then I get, you know, tremendous effort and care from them, and we treat our employees like family, you know, the way we approach it. Like if we're on the job, all food and drinks is paid for, no questions asked, every day.
Yeah.
Because it's hot and we want to take care of people. So I feel like that helping people is really the key. And I feel like the next venture will be good financially, but might not be the ability for me to help people like I want, but you never know. You know, you can always, you can put your own spin on things. You don't have to stay stuck in a box.
Yeah, and I think something that I've gained throughout the whole interview is that you have like this nurturing mentality. So I think that wherever you do go, it's gonna work out, just because you already have a good base. And it's like the help, like I just wanna help people, and you found a way to help people here, you can find a way to do it somewhere else. So it's kind of like, I can see that progression and why it's kind of like the world's out there, you're ready, you're gonna tackle it, and whatever it is, it's gonna have helping others on it.
I think it's your mentality too. Like guys, there's guys in the industry, they're like, you're giving away too much free stuff, you're helping too many people, you know, you're diluting our industry. And I was like, look, man, everybody can play basketball, but there's only one Michael Jordan. That's my favorite thing when we do something, when we do something in the company and they're just like, what? Like we landed a big deal or something like that. I always send the Michael Jordan gif where he's like, I'm like, I don't know how I did it. It's luck. Like, you know, he didn't. He's just like, I just do what I do.
I just did it.
But that's where I tell people, like, don't be intimidated by your competition. Like, educate your peer to do a better job. He will make the industry stronger and healthier. Because those people that he goes and helps, and he doesn't have that bad taste in his mouth that you put him down or you told him he wasn't good enough or his equipment wasn't good enough. It's like, it's not like that. You know, like we're doing a charity event on Saturday, the Kingwood Park High School just up the street. project graduation, painted some parking spots, and they didn't get to do project graduation, so they raised no money, and their budget's extremely tight. And I was like, we'll do it for free. And they were like, what? I'm like, we'll do it for free. They're like, okay, well, if you need anything, we'll pay for like cost of chemicals or whatever you need. We've got this budget. And I said, okay. And I reached out to the local guys, and I've guys messaged me, and they're like, well, my equipment's only this and this. And I said, look, if there's no water on site, if you can come and make it work with no water on site, like bring your own water to do one spot, that's perfect. And I was like, I'm not gonna turn any guy away. And then I got a guy that was like, I can't pull water, but can we show up and help? I'm like, absolutely. And like, bring your rig, we'll get you in the group photo. Like, just the fact that you're gonna drive out there and be part of this is helping the community and helping project graduation, which is something that I support because, I've raised kids, and that you want, those things to be around. And by me volunteering to do this, doesn't put project graduation in some hole they can't afford, so they're hurting for next year.
Yeah.
Because COVID wiped them out, and it changed things. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you start with, you can be successful.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. That's pretty much it. That's all I have. Thank you so much for talking with me. You actually gave me some really good thoughts and ideas. Just overall, listening to you talk, because I have seen how you interact with other people, and like you said, the Michael Jordan, you're like, and I think that's hilarious.
I feel like everybody that sees that would be like, spit their drink out hilarious. They're this guy, no. And like, but like, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But I believe that like you should be confident, and if you're not, be honest. And I can't do that. I don't know how to treat this or set expectations in anything you do.
Yeah.
If somebody contacted you guys and they wanted a billboard, you wouldn't be like, got it tomorrow. You would set expectations.
Yeah.
Or we just can't do it, either or. And it's just that transparency. It's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, I think that's something I also, working with UZ Marketing, I'm like, being transparent kind of helps customers feel like we understand them, or it's like being just real, just being
there are
real
no false
with them.
expectations,
yeah, and then it's
they're
kinda
happy.
like you can work with it, and they'll feel better, especially like you said, if we don't do billboards, but if I say, hey, we don't do billboards, but I know someone who does, definitely check them out. I think that'll work for you. It makes you feel like you're a better person.
Clear communication.
Yeah, and then it's like you can just kind of help someone else out. It's like, okay, well, UZ Marketing said this about me, so let me help you out, this and this and that.
Yes, you created it. You create a relationship.
Like a relationship, yeah. And those are really what I think those money-hungry businesses forget. It's like you want a relationship with people. You want to talk to them. You want them to feel comfortable around you. I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. This is my first in-person interview ever, and I thought you killed it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Mine too. Mine too. I usually just kind of talk to.
I learn something every time I do this.
Yeah.
But by watching you and then like listening to me, like how I'm responding, and like this is not my background at all. Like I was a Navy submariner, and this is all like just on the fly for me.
Yeah, but you did great.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Did not skip a beat. Okay.